let's do an example using the laws of exponents. So right here, we're going to simplify this mess. 6 times x squared times y cubed times z to the power of 0 over 3 times x times y to the power of 4, all to the power of 4. So we're going to simplify this as much as we can, and we're going to use our laws of exponents to do so. So I look at this, and the first thing I notice is the z to the power of 0. So I look at my laws of exponents, and I look at law number 6. Something to the power of 0 equals 1. Anything to the power of 0 equals 1. So I'm going to rewrite my equation so that this z to the power of 0 is just 1. So it's 6 times x squared times y cubed, and z to the power of 0 just becomes times 1 over 3 times x times y to the power of 4, all to the power of 4. Okay, so we have this fraction, and I know for a lot of students, since we're like fractions, so might as well use the laws of exponents to our advantage and try to get rid of some fractions. According to law number 2 and 3, if we have something in the denominator, we can bring it to the numerator and make the exponent negative, which is what we're going to do here. So I'm going to rewrite this. 6, or actually no, I'm going to keep it like that. 6 times x squared times y cubed. That times y, I'm going to just not ignore that. And the denominator, we're going to try to bring as much to the numerator as possible. This 3, we're not going to bring to the numerator. It is a number. I can just simplify it later. I'm going to keep the 3 down here. This x, according to law number 1, this x, since there's no exponent here, that is the same thing as writing x to the power of 1. So when I bring it up here, when I bring this x to the power of 1 up to the numerator, it's going to be x to the power of negative 1. This y to the power of 4, same thing. I'm going to bring it to the numerator. If I do that, I have to make the exponent negative. So this y to the power of 4 on the bottom, when I bring it up, it becomes y to the power of negative 4. And that quantity is all to the power of 4. All right, let's keep going. 6 divided by 3. 6 over 3, 6 divided by 3 equals 2. And we have a bunch of x's and y's. To organize our information a little bit more clearly, I'm going to put all the x's together and all the y's together, because multiplication, we could rearrange stuff. So we have an x to the power of 2, and we also have an x to the power of negative 1. I'm going to do the same thing with the y's. I'm going to group them together. Y to the power of 3 times y to the power of negative 4. Close parentheses. Remember to keep the power of 4 outside the parentheses. And now I'm going to use laws number 4 and 5, in that when I have a product, I can just add the exponents together. So I have parentheses 2 times x, and the power of 2 minus 1. The y's, same thing. It's a product of y, so the exponents, I'm just going to add them together. We have y to the power of 3 minus 4, all to the power of 4. We're going to keep going. This 2 stays the same. X to the power of 2 minus 1. Well, hopefully we know 2 minus 1 equals 1. So we're going to keep that 1 up there. Y to the power of 3 minus 4. 3 minus 4 equals negative 1. So I'm going to put negative 1 up there, all to the power of 4. And now I'm going to use law number 7 and 8, or law number 8, where I can take the exponent outside the parentheses and distribute my 4 to each term. And then law number 7, I can multiply them together. So we have this 4, I'm going to distribute that 4, 2 to the power of 4. This 4 goes here too. This becomes x to the power of 1 times 4. And then we have this 4 here, 4 times negative 1, or excuse me, y to the power of negative 1 times 4. 2 to the 4th, let's see, 2 times 2, 4, times 2 is 8, times 2 is 16. 2 to the power of 4 is 16. X to the power of 1 times 4, 1 times 4 is 4. And we have y to the power of negative 1 times 4. Negative 1 times 4 is negative 4. If you leave your equation like this, it's fine, but we can also rearrange it as a fraction if you'd like. We have 16 times x to the power of 4. And because y has a negative exponent, I'm going to use law number 3 to move it back to the denominator and make the exponent positive. So this will become y to the power of positive 4 in the denominator. And we're done. So I wrote it kind of small there. I'm going to rewrite my simplified answer here. You can either have written it as 16 times x to the 4 times y to the negative 4, or you could have written it as 16x to the 4 over y to the positive 4.